Okay, this is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. I'm sitting here looking at a aerial a topo map of a certain area. Now this is just a little bitty tiny piece of an area that I'm looking at, and I wanted to just kind of make a quick video here talking about the terrain and reading aerial or I keep saying reading topo maps, because these understanding what you're looking at and stuff is huge when it comes to finding deer in a rut. When bucks start seeking and cruising and they're covering a lot of ground looking for does, they tend to cover and travel certain areas on these topo maps, certain areas of different terrains. They'll take certain terrain features. And as you're looking at a topo map, you can see these terrain features, okay, and then you can pinpoint certain locations that you can go in, scout real quick, and eliminate a massive hilly area. I mean, if you look at this is just monster hills. I mean, some of this red, and this is Cal Topo. You can use shaded relief, and you can see how steep these things are. This red is very, very steep. I mean, it'd be very difficult to even walk up it. And if you were, it'll save you a lot of leg work on this really rough terrain. You can go in and look at just certain areas. Okay, so we're going to talk about that here real quick. And first of all, you see this here. I'm going to change colors. Let's go with blue. You see this here. That's a very peak, and then here's a peak. Okay. And then you see these contour lines. That's what these lines are called, contour lines, okay? You see them there, and they're pointing here, and this is actually creating a saddle right here. This is a saddle. When you hear guys talk about they were hunting a saddle or whatever, they're talking about this here, where you have this really peak here and a peak here, and then there's a saddle right in the middle. And what you have, and the reason these are so well, is if you have bucks cruising ridge lines, and this actually is one. There's actually a ridge line running this direction here. It's running like this, and then it runs here like that, and it actually turns right here, kind of. But it's creating a saddle right here. And what you'll have a lot of times, these bucks will run this kind of towards the top, the side of the ridge, maybe just a little ways down the ridge, but they kind of run. They don't usually run right on top of the ridge, but they kind of run the side of it, somewhere down on one of these side of these contour lines. And what they're doing, they're just cruising these ridges. And let me change colors again. Okay, they'll kind of cruise down these contour lines. Well, that brings them through this area here naturally, no matter which side they're on. They kind of come through here, but they also, that's not the only part that they cover. They also cover these valleys and stuff, and they'll run the edge of them valleys and stuff, and they'll come up these points and these draws. You see here, this is a draw right here, and then there's a draw right here, and then you've got like a little secondary point here, here, and here. Okay, and I'm going to change colors on them points. Let's go with brown. Okay, here's this points. Okay, here, here, and here. There's your secondary points. This is a main point here, and then here, and this would be considered a secondary point, and this right here would be a draw. Okay, well, these bucks will take them because it's the path of least resistance. Instead of coming straight up this real heavy, steep area, he'll just cruise right on down through here, and he'll take, the side of one of these. It's a lot easier to walk if you look at how that is, instead of walking this really steep terrain. It's real light colored. That's one thing I like about Cal Topo. They have the shaded relief, and where you look at these, you have to click it on up over here. And I don't have it on because I'm actually scouting this area, and I don't want to. It has the GPS coordinates, so I would show you. But up here in the top corner on Cal Topo, you can click shaded relief, and then over here in this area over here, You can click shader relief and go in and adjust it, but the lighter colors are the easy, the less steep terrain, and you can see that right here. And then bucks will cruise them because it's easier for them to walk. Well, when you look at areas like this, what you're looking for, or you're looking for where a lot of them kind of point together, okay? And I'm going to erase all of this real quick, and I'm just going to go in with blue, and I'm just going to draw a line on all these path least resistance that a buck would probably want to take, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about here, okay? And now I'm drawing it right down the draw, and a lot of times they'll drop like on one side of the draw or the other. I don't know what the reason is, but if you follow rub lines, you'll notice that a lot of times there'll be a draw, and the rub line will be right on one side or the other. It's kind of like they don't walk right in the middle, but they kind of walk on the side, and they typically do that on ridges too. They'll walk on the side of the ridge just a little bit instead of right down the center, okay? Okay, like this secondary point, a lot of times they'll walk down the side of it. This creek edge and stuff, you know, walking down the edges of this, down the edges of this stuff here. I mean, you notice all the not so steep areas here, okay? So if you look, now we're going to change colors here. Again, we're going to go with red, and I'm just going to circle, okay? If you look, we're kind of looking like a wagon wheel, basically, where there's, boom, a whole lot of different stuff coming together in one location. It's kind of like a wagon wheel. We want to look for the center of that, okay? So I see on this here, I'm looking here, the saddle is one. You have a lot of path least resistances coming into that saddle, which this is a pretty big area. But if I look at it, when I look at it, I really like this area here, okay? I've got a lot coming in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 different areas. If a buck gets down into this valley, I really think he's going to come up through here instead of coming. There's really high potential here. So I'm looking here, and I'm looking here on this saddle. I don't like the saddle as much as I do this valley, but one thing when you're in valleys like this, the wind gets really tricky. So I'm going to go in actually sometime this week and scout this area. I've actually got a couple spots like this I've marked. And I'm going to scout it, and I'm going to look, and I'm looking for rub lines and stuff from last year. This is a rutting spot, and this is actually what I believe is a prime buck hunting spot back in here. I mean, to kill a big buck, okay? And if you interested in looking for finding stuff like that, I have Finding and Hunting Nocturnal Mature Rutting Bucks online course that goes into detail on, you know, the specifics. And this has got them. I mean, this is way back in the woods. It's a wilderness area. No vehicles can access it, so it's definitely has the potential of holding some big old bucks in this area. So I'm going to scout that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video here. Understanding topo, how to read topo maps and what to look for is huge. Check out, it's Topo. It's CALTOPO.com. And you can look at your area and zoom in. You can use shaded relief and stuff like that. And I'll probably show that in another video, how to do the shaded relief and stuff. I didn't want to do it in this one because it'll reveal the concordance of this area. And I don't want to do that because it is public property. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you out. Like I said, this is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. Check out deerhuntingschool.com for more tips, information, and things like that on deer hunting. Have a good day, and bye-bye.